Maxim was a former rival of Thomas Edison. In 1881, he immigrated to London and had his own light bulb moment. A flash of inspiration that would result in the birth of a new era in rapid-fire history.
Hiram Maxim was an inventor, and he happened to find himself in Paris at a convention, and somebody told him, if you want to make a pile of money, invent something which will enable these Europeans to cut one another's throats with greater facility.
Hiram Maxim's machine gun was a technological revolution. The recoil reload system made it the first truly automatic gun. It is almost unrelated to the hand-powered Gatling gun. Instead, the recoil of the gun ejected the spent cartridge and delivered the fresh round into the firing mechanism.
The reason it made an impact is that the weapon was no longer hand-cranked. Weapons like the Gardner, the Gatling had to be cranked round. They're not true machine guns. But Hiram Maxim's weapon used the energy of the bullet going one way to reload, plucking a bullet out of a belt and giving you a rate of fire of 500 to 600 bullets a minute.
One cock places the cartridge ready to be loaded into the barrel. The second one loads it, and by releasing the safety, now I'm going to fire the Maxim.
In the 20th century, the market for Maxim's machine gun was huge. Tensions between the major global powers created a wide-scale military buildup, and the Americans, Germans, French, and British all invested in Maxim's design.
And by 1900, most major powers had Maxim guns at the rate of about 2 per battalion. That's 2 machine guns per 1,000 soldiers. They were heavy, they were cumbersome, and nobody knew how to use them. But in a deep and significant way, they did chart the way ahead.
The new automatic killing machine shook up battlefield tactics. For hundreds of years, armies had attacked in massed ranks. But the Maxim gun changed all that.
These things traversed a good deal, and you could shoot 300, 400 rounds of ammo on one traverse. And if you're charged with a 300-man force of people, it wouldn't take you long to kill every one of them. Now, when both sides do the same thing, it makes your mass charges almost superfluous.
Despite its lethality, the Maxim was too heavy for mobile warfare. It needed a big tripod and a 2 to 4-man team to operate. But the First World War could have been designed with Sir Hiram's monster in mind. The machine gun was about to come of age.
As trench warfare develops, they don't have to worry about the difficulties of carrying a big, heavy, often water-cooled machine gun. Because they're sitting still in trenches for so long, the Maxim gun comes into its own. You can sit there all day in your trench with your Maxim gun, shooting at whoever comes through no man's land towards you. As long as you keep cold water flowing around the barrel, you can keep killing.
Maxim guns caused damage on both sides of the lines. But it was the invention of a humble piece of farm equipment that made the machine gun the terror of the trenches. Rewind 2 generations to a farm in Illinois and Joseph Glidden, the brains behind barbed wire.
Barbed wire had started its life as being an innocent agricultural device invented in DeKalb, Illinois, not far from Chicago, designed to keep cattle in their fields. Its military application was very quickly picked up because this spiked fence would slow down military movement.
By itself, barbed wire is a nuisance. By itself, the machine gun is dangerous. The combination of slowing people down while they try to pick their way through wire or cut their way through wire or blow up the wire and get killed by a machine gun while they're doing it, that is deadly.
Barbed wire had been christened Devil's Rope even before the start of the war. The twisted rolls of wire stretched from Switzerland to the English Channel, slowing down troop movement and creating killing zones for the new weapon of mass destruction. Barbed wire and the machine gun. A marriage made in hell.
People would certainly try before a battle to send patrols out to cut wire, but you needed really to do it on a large scale. There was always the danger that the wire cutting would be selective. In other words, all you'd succeed in doing would be making gaps in the wire, and your attacking infantry would inevitably focus on the gaps, and that's where the defender would be able to concentrate his firepower to do real damage.
July 1st, 1916, day one of the Battle of the Somme. 19,000 British troops lie dead on the battlefield, most to German Maxim fire. The plan had been to knock out the German defenders and shred the barbed wire with 5 days of relentless artillery bombardment. The reality, violently different. The Germans were well dug in. The wire breached only in places. The result? The bloodiest day in British military history.
On its own, barbed wire won't stop an attacker. But cover that defense with machine guns and you've got something that can funnel the attackers and give you time to slaughter them.
The nightmare of the trenches made military strategists determined to break the deadlock of static warfare.